Do I look like I'm ready to go stuff my face? Would I go looking like this? Absolutely. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Gianna, and here on this channel we do all things beauty, fashion, whatever it may be, and most importantly, body positivity. This is a safe space. This is a safe space. And if you don't like it, we don't want you here. But anyway, for today's video, I thought I'd do a Thanksgiving makeup look. I know the holidays are gonna be looking a little different this year, but I still feel like it's important for you to kind of do what you normally like to do, which is if you like to get dressed up, don't like to get dressed up, if you like to put on makeup for these sort of things, then do it. This is just kind of give you some inspiration for some different looks if you want to get a little festive up in here. I should mention that I work as a makeup artist. I worked partially through the pandemic while still having my makeup job. But since coronavirus has changed everything, I have been only doing my sort of freelancing work and not actually working for any specific company right now. I did work professionally in makeup for about 4 years and have been doing makeup for about 6 or 7. I think the reason that I have put off doing a makeup look so far is just because I feel like YouTube is really saturated with really good makeup tutorials, and I was like, why would anyone want to see what I have to say about makeup? But I do feel like I have a different take and different perspective just like everyone else. And like I said, I have worked in the biz. I have done both theatrical makeup and as well as beauty makeup throughout my time in the profession. And I just feel like I've had quite a few people ask for something like this, so let's just do it, you know? But anyways, this is the look that I created today, so if you like something kind of similar to this, obviously this is an amped up version, but if you want something like a little more subdued, you could certainly kind of take out certain elements of this in order to get that effect. But this is me like in my version of like full glam, like let's go, I'm the Kim of the family sort of look. If you want to see how I got this look, then keep watching.
Okay, so let's get started. First, I like to put my hair back because obviously it's a mess and I just want to keep it out of my face while doing this. So I use these cute little rose gold kitty cat earrings to keep my hair back. And of course I had my chestnut praline latte because how could I get through a makeup look without it? And also I like to wash my hands and put on a little bit of like a lip oil or a chapstick before I do anything else. Next, I go in with my skincare routine and I start with the Ordinary face serum. I've been using this one for a couple of weeks now and I really see a big improvement in my skin. I see a lot less texture on my cheekbones and a lot less redness in certain areas that aren't just necessarily my cheeks. And I just put a little extra on my hands and I use a little face fan to kind of let it all sink in and dry. Then I take my Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty and I like to put this all over my face, using mainly the 2 weakest fingers on my hand because that kind of just is a little bit more gentle on my face, and I love this moisturizer. I also love to use a little bit of sunscreen because it is honestly the most important part of your skincare routine. Come at me if you think otherwise. And usually at this point I start to overheat a little bit, which is funny because I am drinking a hot beverage. Go me. But once I start to cool down, then I like to go with my eyebrows first. I know a lot of people are really hardcore like face first or eyebrows first, but I just say do what you want, you know? I like to do eyebrows first because I think that it kind of frames the rest of my face, so it just kind of sets the whole tone for my makeup look. I like to use the Senna Eyebrow Duo. It's not too popular of a brand, but I will put a link down below just to show you where I buy mine from. And I like to use a powder because I just like to give a little extra shape to my eyebrows. I don't do a whole ton of product in it, just because I mostly already have a lot of eyebrow hairs, so I don't really need a whole lot, but I do like to do, you know, a little bit of shaping with it. And I will most definitely will do a more in-depth brow tutorial for you guys. I just felt like I just kind of wanted to get through it today just to kind of get to the real meat of what look I'm trying to produce today. But essentially this is what I do for my eyebrows. I do a lot of brushing up first with the hairs, filling in where I need to, and then brushing downwards to also fill in those areas and just following the natural shape of my brow. I also love to go with an eyebrow gel afterwards just to kind of make sure the hairs stay tame and don't kind of go all over the place throughout the rest of the day. And for my eyebrow gel, I like to use the NYX Control Freak, but really, I honestly don't know the difference between most eyebrow gels, so you do you. I also like to start with the eyes when I'm doing a full glam look, and I usually put a little bit of concealer. I use the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic concealer from ColourPop, and I like to put this on my eyes and kind of blend it out because I feel like it sets a nice base down. It kind of evens out my skin tone because I have a lot of like hyperpigmentation and like dark spots on my eyes, so I'd like to make sure that this kind of makes like a blank canvas for what I'm about to do, and it also helps the eyeshadow stick to my lid so it doesn't kind of go all over the place. And then I just like to set the concealer as well with a little bit of powder. I use the RCMA No Color Powder, and I swear I could not do my makeup without this powder. It is my ride or die. And I just like to pack this on with a little bit more pointed packed brush. Next, I go in with the Modern Renaissance palette, which I will be using for the bulk of this look, but not the entire look. I take the warm taupe on a fluffy brush, and I just kind of like to sweep this one across the lid. This will be our transition color, and this just kind of lays down the foundation of what the whole look is going to be. And that little motion that I showed you there was to show the grip of where you place your hand on a makeup brush. The farther back it is, the more like loose and blown out the look is gonna be, versus when it's closer to the tip, it's gonna be more of like packed in color and a little bit more pigmented when you bring it on the lid. And I just blend this out until there is absolutely no product left on my brush. Next, I like to go in with this antique bronze shade with a more flat brush, and I just like to mist it with a little bit of Fix Plus. Just kind of helps it be a little bit more pigmented, give it some shininess and oomph to it. And I put this all over my lid, just following the natural shape of my own lid, and trust the process with this. It'll look weird at first because it won't transition gradually into the rest of your eyelid, but just know that we're going to be blending this out later, so trust me when I say it won't stay looking this weird. The best advice I can give when it comes to eyeshadow is just to blend, blend, blend. I can't tell you the number of times where I've just seen so many harsh lines and it's just not cute, okay? So we just got to make sure that we blend and make everything go together, marry all the shades together. Next, I take a smaller fluffy brush and I just use the same shade to kind of blend out that little transition area there. I just take a little bit more on the brush and really blend it out again until there's no product left on that brush, just making a more seamless transition within the crease there. And once that's blended out to my satisfaction, I take the Cypress Amber shade, it's a darker matte shade, and I concentrate this on the outside of my eye, kind of working my way into the crease a little bit, but really blending this out using circular motions and then a little bit of windshield wiper as well. Next, I take this shimmer powder from Hourglass, and it's such a pretty color. It's like a powder, but it's like a mousse sort of, and this is like smoke taupe. I don't know, I'll check it in the bottom bar there, but I like to pack this on with some Fix Plus and then also put this back on the lid, kind of where that first shade was going, but not covering completely, just to kind of give it more of like a shimmer and more dimension to the lid. Next, I'm going to line my lid, and I'm taking the Soft Glam 2 palette from Anastasia, and I'm taking the black shade there, and I've been a really big fan of using eyeshadow as liner lately. I used to be all about the gel liner, the liquid liner, and I still like to use that, but with the powder, for some reason, it gives it a really nice smoky look, and I can line my lids and still put on lashes without it looking too much like I'm wearing heavy eyeliner. So this just kind of gives it a little bit more shape to my eye, but also I don't have to worry about doing a full eyeliner look. And I like to use a small angled brush for this, a really thin line. And what I like to do is small, quick motions and kind of smoke it out by rubbing it up and down a little bit. And then I like to flick it out a little bit on the end to give it a slight winged liner look, but not too much, just to kind of drag it out a little bit so it kind of goes along with the lashes that I'm going to be using later. And I'm a big fan of lash primer. Not too many people use it, I feel like, but I really like how it makes my lashes look. Just kind of provides a base for it and kind of lengthens them pre-mascara use. And going with the same brand, I'm going with the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara. And I do like this one. It gets pretty chunky, but I like how it's a more drier formula, which I think really works for my kind of lashes. It does a lot of work in thickening and lengthening my lashes. Then I go with the Ardell Demi Wispies. These are my favorite kind from them. And I'm just going to pop them on. I will do a lash tutorial later, but this just kind of wanted to blow through a little bit just so you could, get to the good stuff. Next, going in with the face, I'm using my Holy Grail foundation. This is the Face Ateliér Ultra Pro foundation, and I love this one. It's a silicone base. It makes my face look really nice and smooth and dewy, and right now I'm in between shades, so I have to mix between the 2 and the 3 is what I think I had to use. And as you can see here, it's a little bit more of a yellower formula. I'm a little bit more yellow on my neck and the rest of my body versus my face, which gets a little bit more peachy, so I just like to make it match with the rest of my body. So I had to mix those two just because it would have been too light if I went one way and too dark if I went the other. And I like to use a brush for this one since it is a silicone formula. A sponge doesn't work very well on silicone formulas because it's basically like mixing water and oil. It just doesn't work well, and it usually can break up on the face if you are not careful with that. And as I mentioned before, I like to use more of a compact brush for this. Just kind of gets the best overall look with this formula. But honestly, you don't need to do a whole ton with this. It blends out like a dream. It's just the best stuff ever. Trust me, you will not want to use anything else after using this. And after I'm done checking myself out, I like to go with my concealer now. Going back in with that ColourPop Hyaluronic Pretty Fresh concealer. I like to concentrate this more on the inner part of my eye and then on the outer part, and then hitting any spot where I might have a blemish or kind of dragging it on the nose, chin, and forehead areas. And you don't need a whole lot with this. It's a pretty like medium to full coverage, I'd say, but also doesn't look too cakey, which is what I love about it. It looks very hydrating, which I'm all about since I am more of a dry person. So I usually like a less drying formula when it comes to my face makeup. And then usually what I have to do with my under eye is really blend out underneath there and then go with my powder with a sponge, because if I don't, I crease automatically for whatever reason. No matter how much concealer I use, how little concealer I use, I will just crease automatically. So this is honestly the best combination, both powder and concealer, that I could possibly use to get less creasing underneath my eye. Next, I'm going to go in with this Morphe x Jaclyn Hill Vault Collection palette. Don't remember the name of this one specifically, but I'm going to take the dark green matte shade at the bottom there, and I'm going to put this on my under eyes because I thought that'd be kind of fun to do for a Thanksgiving look, just to kind of switch it up a little bit. And I'm just going to take a little pencil brush and really blend out and smoke out that lower lid. Next, I'm going with this Chill Baby palette. Do not come for me. This is a cute palette, okay? And I'm just taking the shimmery green because I kind of wanted to brighten it up just a little bit because it was coming out too dark for me. And I kind of wanted a little bit more of like a light green shimmer for this. Then I usually like to finish out my eye with doing a little bit of a lower lash line of mascara. And I forgot to put on my eyeliner first, which is what I usually do. So I just fill in any areas where it looks a little bald in color, just kind of give it more dimension and really open up that eye. Next, bronzer time. So I'm just taking a little bit of this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is the A1, the OG for me. I know a ton of people love to use this one, and I do too. And I'm not doing really like contouring per se. It's just that with bronzer, you kind of want to hit in the places where the sun naturally gets you, which is usually on the forehead, a little bit on the cheekbones. And then sometimes I also like to drag it a little bit over the cheeks and on the bridge of my nose, just because, again, that's where sun would maybe naturally hit me when it comes to bronzer. So this just kind of spices it up a little bit and gives me a little bit more heat to my face. And next I'm going in with this blush powder here from Tarte. I believe it's called Fiesty. And I love this shade for fall and for winter. It just kind of gives it a really nice, naturally rosy glow. It matches my skin tone really well, which is a bonus. And I just like to hit this on the cheekbone a little bit there. I was just showing you where I was a little bit drier, so it was getting a little patchy. That's on me with my alligator skin. And then I'm taking the Hourglass highlighting duo here. And what I like to do is just kind of mix all three shades together. And I like to hit on the bridge of my nose, a little above my lip, and just like the basic high points of my cheekbones. And I'm just taking some of the ColourPop Flexitarian highlighter because I love this one for my inner corner and for my brow bone. Just gives it a really nice pop. And before my lips, I like to go with my setting spray right after this, just to kind of marry the rest of my face together and just give it a nice little dewy glow. This is from Bakerie. It's their setting spray. I love this one, and it smells like vanilla. And to start off the perfect Thanksgiving lip, I thought I'd go in with Spice from MAC. And I just love this one because it really helps make my lips look plump, and it's really great for overlining. So you do see me going in with this MAC lip color, but I end up changing it later because as much as I really liked this lip color and this formula, I just feel like it didn't match the lip very well. I felt like it was too peachy for what I was going for, so I do change it later.
So this is the final result. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I know it was kind of quick and just kind of went over some things. I will definitely be breaking down my makeup looks as I go with this channel. It's just that working as a makeup artist, I feel like I have to explain so much when it comes to each individual thing and kind of the techniques that I use. So this was kind of a brief overview, I guess. But yeah, I really like how this look turned out. It was definitely better than I was expecting. I was kind of just like, let's just see where this goes. I thought it was really fun to kind of add the bottom green part for it. This is honestly probably more makeup than I would wear to my family's Thanksgiving, especially this year, which is pretty much not happening. I also just think it's fun to kind of wear these looks even around this time, just because we're transitioning into Christmas time, which there will definitely be Christmas looks coming. But yeah, if you like what you see, feel free to let me know if there's any requests that you have for other makeup looks. If you had a good time on this channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, ding that notification bell. I never get that line right. Why don't I ever get that line right? Notification bell. Hit it if you want it. Or just subscribe. I honestly don't know the difference. Probably should, shouldn't I? Either way, thanks so much for joining me on this Thanksgiving look. Feel free to check out the hair tutorial I just posted recently. Yeah, I hope you have a safe Thanksgiving. Relax and eat whatever you want. I also want to stress this on this channel, since we are all about beauty, fashion, body positivity. The holidays are coming up and I do not want you to feel bad about eating the way that everyone else is. If you are bigger in your family, you should not feel bad about eating how everyone else is eating, okay? I know this can be a stressful time and sometimes people will try and make you feel bad or feel guilty if you decide to eat that cookie or have a second helping of mashed potatoes. This is the time for it, okay? Want to take a break from your healthy eating day or whatnot, you shouldn't feel guilty about it afterwards, or even having a meal in general. You're meant to eat, you're meant to have a meal. Don't give anyone the power to make you feel bad about it. And if you're watching this and you've made someone feel bad around the holidays about what they're eating, fix it, okay? Don't do it, or I will come for you. Anyways, I will see you for more holiday content. Remember, beauty is beyond size. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.